Most people don't even realize it, but every single morning, without exception, you are entering into a battle for control, a battle for direction, a battle for your future. The moment you open your eyes, the fight begins. The question is, are you showing up prepared, or are you surrendering before the fight even starts? Because here's the brutal truth. How you start your day is how you will live your life. You either lead the morning, or you chase the day like a victim. There's no middle ground. The morning is where your mind, your habits, your discipline, and your standards either get sharpened or get softened. Those early moments, before the world gets loud, are either where you build yourself, or where you begin the slow process of breaking yourself. Most people don't even realize it, but every single morning, without exception, you are entering into a battle for control, a battle for direction, a battle for your future. The moment you open your eyes, the fight begins. The question is, are you showing up prepared, or are you surrendering before the fight even starts? Because here's the brutal truth. How you start your day is how you will live your life. You either lead the morning, or you chase the day like a victim. There's no middle ground. The morning is where your mind, your habits, your discipline, and your standards either get sharpened or get softened. Those early moments, before the world gets loud, are either where you build yourself, or where you begin the slow process of breaking yourself. Think about this. Who is running your life, your vision, or your distractions? The first hour of your day tells you everything you need to know about your standards. If you wake up and the first thing you do is grab your phone, scroll through someone else's life, and fill your mind with noise, you are starting from a place of weakness, not power. You're letting the outside world set your emotional tone before you've even set your own. How can you expect to win the day when you've already given away control before you've even had your first thought? Winners don't operate that way. High performers don't operate that way. People who lead themselves, people who build extraordinary lives, they understand this simple principle. The morning is sacred ground. It's the foundation on which the rest of the day is built. And if the foundation is shaky, everything on top of it will collapse. When you wake up, you're in the most influential mental state you'll have all day. Your mind is clean, open, and programmable. What you allow in during those first minutes matters. What you choose to focus on will determine how you show up, not just for the next hour, but for the next 24. That's why your morning isn't about coffee or breakfast or checking boxes. It's about claiming your focus, your energy, and your standards. If you don't command your morning, the world will. Notifications will. Emails will. Social media will. Distractions will. Other people's emergencies will. And once you give away your attention, you give away your power. Here's a reality check. People who build momentum in life don't leave their mornings to chance. They protect them like a warrior protects sacred ground. They create intentional rituals not because they're trendy, but because they work. Movement, gratitude, reflection, planning, visualization, these aren't buzzwords, they're battle tactics. They are the armor you put on before you step out into a world filled with chaos and noise. If you show up unarmed, untrained, unready, you'll fall into the same trap everyone else does, rushing, reacting, playing defense with your time and energy. The people who win their lives aren't superhuman. They're just prepared. They've made a decision. My day doesn't run me. I run my day. That decision starts the moment your alarm goes off. Energy is not something you wait for. It's not something you hope magically appears. It's something you create on purpose, with intention, every single morning. The people who seem unstoppable, who seem to have endless drive, who walk into the day with fire in their chest, they aren't lucky. They aren't special, they're strategic, they've learned the secret. Motion creates emotion. Energy isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And it starts with how you move your body the moment you wake up. Ask yourself, how do you show up physically the first hour of your day? Are you slow, sluggish, dragging yourself through the motions? Or do you take control, stand tall, move with force, and activate your system on purpose? Your physiology is your power source. When you change your movement, you change your mood. When you change your posture, you change your perspective. When you take control of your breath, your heart rate, your muscles. You take control of how you're going to show up for everything else. That's not motivational talk, that's biology. Your body and your mind are wired together. When your body moves, your brain wakes up. When your heart rate rises, your state shifts. When you break a sweat, you're not just working on your health. You're working on your mental strength, your confidence, and your momentum. Too many people treat mornings like a waiting room, like something to coast through until life really begins. But life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Success doesn't knock politely after you've had your coffee. It rewards the people who generate their own energy, who step into action before they feel like it, who understand that how you use your body controls how you experience the world. You can't fake energy. You can't manifest it sitting still, hoping it arrives. You build it. You generate it through movement. That's why the world's most driven people move early. They run, they lift, they stretch, they train not just to look good, but to ignite something deeper inside themselves. That sweat, that movement, that discipline, it's a message to your brain. We are alive. We are powerful. We are in control. Your body doesn't care how tired you think you are. Your body cares about what you tell it through action. Energy is a habit. Energy is a pattern. Energy is a skill you develop, not a gift you're given. Think about the mornings where you've worked out, even when you didn't feel like it. Didn't you walk taller? Didn't you think clearer? Didn't you feel more capable, more confident, more focused? That's not a coincidence. That's chemistry. That's momentum. You're training your nervous system to perform, not to coast. You're teaching your brain that when it's time to work, you show up at 100%, no excuses. The body leads the mind, not the other way around. If you want energy, act like it's already yours. Move fast. Breathe deep. Stand strong. Give your body the signal that today you are here to dominate, not survive. You said, expend key point 3 and don't add any ending sentence and make it lengthy on 500 words without heading and conclusion and add hooks / your mind is a garden. Whatever you plant in it each morning, you will harvest throughout the day. If you plant stress, negativity, doubt, and distractions the moment you wake up, don't be surprised when that's exactly what multiplies in your life. But if you plant clarity, gratitude, focus, and strength from the start, you will carry those qualities with you into everything you do. The mistake most people make is they leave their mental garden unguarded. They allow anything to come in, social media, news headlines, emails, other people's opinions. They wake up, open the gates, and let weeds grow before the sun has even fully risen. That's not just careless, it's dangerous. Because what you allow into your mind first thing becomes the lens through which you see your entire day. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Your thoughts are not random. Your mindset is not an accident. It's a reflection of what you consistently feed it. You have to decide every morning, are you feeding your mind fuel or are you feeding it poison? Are you planting seeds that strengthen you or seeds that weaken you? The first thoughts you think, the first words you say, the first things you read, watch, and hear, all of these shape the internal narrative you carry with you. They determine whether you attack the day with confidence or retreat from it with fear. Gratitude is not just a nice practice. It's mental armor. Taking 5 minutes every morning to remind yourself what you're grateful for isn't just about feeling good. It's about focusing your brain on abundance, not scarcity. It's about shifting your energy from what's missing to what's possible. The mind will always search for evidence to support whatever story you tell it. If you start the day with a story of gratitude, your brain will spend the day collecting proof of how good life really is, even in hard moments. Clarity works the same way. When you spend even a few quiet minutes each morning identifying your goals, your values, and your priorities, you set your brain on a path of intention instead of reaction. You tell your subconscious, this is what matters today. This is what we're moving toward. Without that clarity, you will drift. You'll be pulled by distractions, emergencies, and other people's agendas. You'll mistake busyness for progress, But when you set your focus deliberately, you build a mental map that guides your decisions and actions throughout the day. Visualization is another tool formers used to plant strong seeds in the morning. Seeing yourself succeeding, overcoming obstacles, showing up with strength and purpose, these images aren't fantasy. They're rehearsals. Your brain can't tell the difference between imagined success and real experience. When you visualize your best self each morning, you prepare your mind and body to show up that way in reality. The world will try to fill your mind with weeds, doubt, fear, negativity, distractions, they're everywhere. If you don't plant something stronger first, you'll spend your day pulling weeds instead of growing something great. Focus is not something you stumble upon. It's not a lucky accident, and it doesn't show up just because you want it to. Focus is a muscle, and like any muscle, it only grows when you train it, challenge it, and push it beyond comfort. The biggest mistake people make in the morning is allowing their focus to be hijacked before they've even had a chance to build it. You can't expect to feel sharp, driven, and dialed in if the first thing you do is scroll through other people's lives or drown yourself in distractions. The mind, especially in the morning, is like wet cement. Whatever impressions you press into it early will harden and shape how you move through the day. Ask yourself, who is in control of your attention? Is it you or is it everything around you? Because the harsh truth is, if you don't claim your focus first thing in the morning, the world will claim it for you. Notifications, emails, headlines, distractions, they're all competing for one thing, your mind. The people who dominate their days aren't superhuman. They're just intentional. They don't start their mornings randomly. They don't roll over and scroll. They begin with rituals that strengthen their focus like a laser. They understand this simple truth: your focus is the gateway to your potential. Where your focus goes, your energy flows, and where your energy flows, results follow. Silence is one of the most underrated tools for training focus. Those quiet moments, before the noise of the world takes over, are where you build mental resilience. When you sit in stillness, breathe deeply, and allow your mind to settle, you're not wasting time, you're sharpening your ability to direct your thoughts. You're reclaiming control from the chaos. You're practicing the discipline of ignoring what doesn't matter so you can lock onto what does. That ability becomes a weapon throughout your day, helping you cut through distraction and stay aligned with your goals. Reflection is another powerful tool. When you take time each morning to ask yourself key questions: what matters most today? What can I let go of? How do I want to show up? You force your brain to focus. You're not letting your mind wander aimlessly. You're giving it a destination. The people who stay focused aren't born with more willpower. They're simply more practiced at reminding themselves what matters. They build clarity into their mornings, and that clarity becomes a shield against distraction later. Most people drift through their mornings in a fog. They confuse activity with productivity. They check boxes, answer messages, and mistake busyness for progress. But none of that builds real focus. Real focus comes from training your brain to prioritize, from repeatedly asking, what's the one thing I can do today that moves me closer to my vision, and then blocking out everything else until it's done. Focus is built through repetition. Every morning you practice controlling your attention, you strengthen that muscle, and over time, that strength becomes your advantage in a world addicted to distraction. Clarity will always outperform busyness. In a world where everyone is rushing, multitasking, and drowning in to-do lists, clarity becomes your secret weapon. Too many people wake up and immediately jump into action without ever asking themselves a simple but powerful question: what actually matters today? They confuse being busy with being productive. They run fast but have no idea where they're going. This is why so many people burn out, feel overwhelmed, and end their days feeling like they accomplished nothing meaningful. Without clarity, you are just reacting to life instead of leading it. Imagine trying to build a house with no blueprint, just grabbing random tools and materials and working on whatever feels urgent. That's how most people treat their days. They wake up, check their phone, respond to messages, and let other people's agendas dictate their focus. They spend hours working, but have no direction, no aim, no strategy. Clarity changes that. Clarity forces you to define your priorities before the chaos begins. It's the blueprint you create every morning that tells your brain and your actions where to go, what to focus on, and what to ignore. When you take time in the morning to get clear on what your top priorities are,